Well, we got a busy season coming up ahead. You've got Thanksgiving, which I'm not ready for. You've got Christmas, which I'm not ready for. And you've got New Year's, which I'm really not ready for. So we got a busy season coming up. But you know what? I'll admit, I'm kind of in a pretty good position, all things considered, because, you know, I have the means to go and get presents and all that kind of good stuff. But some people don't. And you can help those people. And we have Chrissy Essex from Chattanooga for Justice who's going to tell us a little bit more about that. Chrissy, thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me what your project is, your new endeavor.
Okay, I'm working with the Tennessee Baptist Children's Home. And I'm teaming up also with Chick-fil-A inside Northgate Mall. And they have a Christmas tree in the back of the restaurant. What you can do is pull a tag off the tree. And on the back of the tag, it has the child's wish list. And you don't have to purchase everything on the wish list. You can get a few things. And then there's a box that is beside the Christmas tree. And you'll put all the stuff, all the gifts in the box. You can wrap it. You don't have to wrap it. And the deadline for all the gifts are December 13th.
December the 13th. Now, that's coming up sooner than you'd think, too.
Yes, very quick. And also, we're doing a toy drive at Chick-fil-A Northgate Mall, December the 3rd from 2 to 4.
So from 2 to 4. So that's December the 3rd. And the deadline is the 13th. And these are two separate entities, or these are all for the same goal?
It's all for the same goal. The wish list, you'll put the toys in the box, and that's due by December 13th. But then also the toy drive, you can come shopping at the mall. You can go to Walmart, wherever, and bring the gifts to Chick-fil-A on December 3rd for the toy drive. No. And then I will be delivering all the toys December 16th.
Wow, that's impressive. So Tell me, who are these toys going towards?
The toys are going for the children at the Baptist ministry. Some of them have no parents at all. Some of them may be in prison. Before they go to the state, they go to the Baptist Children's Home, and the Baptist Children's Home tries to keep them there on the premises where they don't actually go to the state. So that way, you know, because there's a lot of kids in the state system. So They do live there on campus. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 kids per home, and they have a house parent. And and they are totally a nonprofit organization. All the funds that they get are from donations of people. So some of these children's, if you know what they wear clothing wise, school supplies, whatever, are donated from people in the Chattanooga area.
Local, as David Tulis would say, very lococentric, very local economy minded. So this is sort of acting as an interim between the bad situation with the parents and then the state. So the Tennessee Baptist Children's Home sort of comes between that.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's also a Christian organization. So they do go to church on Sundays, and they teach them good biblical doctrine. So these kids, you know, if they weren't raised in a Christian home, or they don't get the Christian, you know, doctrines at school, they get it there at the Baptist Children's Home.
So not only is it housing and food, it's also education and indoctrination is the wrong word, but it's sort of we call it catechizing in my church. It's telling kids, you know, what it means to operate in a godly way. So that's really good. It teaches kids the right morals and also how to live right, and gives them a place to stay.
And they also have this program out where an individual like you or I, there's extensive background check, but you can also pick a child up on the weekend, take the child home with you, and, you know, kind of like a big brother, big sister, take the child out to eat or to the movies, or just simply hang out with you for the weekends. But they do extensive background check on that.
So what kind of I lost my train of thought there. I apologize. What kind of toys are often asked for, would you say?
You know, the funny thing that the kids have asked for on the wish list were a lot of gift cards to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Taco Bell. A lot of them restaurants, because they don't go out to eat much. You know, they do get fed on the Baptist Ministries campus, so they don't go out to eat much. So there's 20 kids that I have, and most of them ask for gift cards for different restaurants. Some ask for pens and pencils and socks and, you know, different types of toys, Lego sets, but the majority of them simply wanted a gift card. So
they sound like really mature kids too, because when I was that age, I was asking for, G.I. Joe toy sets. I wanted an aircraft carrier.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about gift cards.
I wasn't either. And the ages are from 4 to 21. And like I said, these kids, and they're not asking for much. There's probably on the wish list, there's anywhere from 10 to 20 items. You don't have to buy everything on the wish list, but, they have items out there in case you wanted to get everything. But I mean, a $5 gift card at McDonald's or a $5 gift card at Chick-fil-A, if that's all you can afford, that's fine. The kids aren't expecting a whole lot. They just, want a couple of things. So
just something, and anything really, from a stranger especially, it means a whole lot to someone who's not gotten that treatment very often.
It does. And some of these kids, when I have talked to one of the directors, some of these kids don't get anything for Christmas or their birthday. So that's where us in the community can help out with this and, get the child a couple things, even a stocking. Just fill a stocking up and put some stuff in there, pencils, toothbrush, toothpaste, socks, necessities. Because like I said, the necessities, clothes, anything they get is donated from people in the community.
I will say I got a short glimpse of one of the lists, and I will say some of these kids are very smart because they asked for Amazon gift cards. Very, very clever. I wouldn't have thought of that. So Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Amazon gift cards, Visa gift cards. And when I was talking to one of the ladies there, she said they like to go shopping. So in the community, if you, want to pick up a child for the day, hang out with the child, take them shopping with their little gift card, it means the world to them. Just, to know that there are people out there that care, because a lot of these kids may not have a family, maybe both in prison, one may be dead, strung out on drugs, and they really don't have anywhere to go other than the children's home.
And for people like me, for people like you, this is sort of a hard thing to fathom, even that, the idea of not having a Christmas, or the idea of not having, even parents are around for a lot of us, that's sort of an odd concept. Mm-hmm. But so that sort of has a sort of a mental societal disconnect between, we would call it, us and them, that sort of mentality. But right. You have to put yourself in the shoes of someone who is in that situation, how much it would mean to get something, anything really.
Right.
And like you say, you're not asking for, $100 from everybody. It could be $5, it could be 10, 20. It's just whatever you can give. And it's pressure sort of thing.
Just because they have 10 or 20 items on the wish list doesn't mean you have to purchase everything on the wish list. But I was amazed to see all of the gift cards that the kids were asking for, restaurant gift cards, $5, $10. That's, you want to do $10, that's 2 or 3 meals.
Most people don't even think about $5 or $10. So what's it to you to give it to, a kid who really does need that kind of thing?
Yep.
Again, when that is?
That is December 3rd in front of Chick-fil-A inside the mall, and it's from 2 to 4. And we'll have a table there. And if you just want to bring, a toy, some gift cards or whatever, I'll make sure the kids get these. And I'm delivering the toys December the 16th to the Baptist Children's Home.
So you personally are delivering the toys. So you're more heavily involved than I thought. Wow.
Yes.
So you're all over it.
Yes.
So the food toy drive, December the 3rd, you said.
December 3rd.
December 3rd.
From 2 to 4.
2 to 4. So make sure you show up, and I'll try to be there if I can. I'm a little bit busy, but I'll try to be there if I can. Maybe take some video, do some Facebook stuff there. If you want to, of course, you can take some video, and we'll share it on our Facebook page too.
Definitely.
Get the word out there. So December the 3rd, I'll make sure to get that on our Facebook. 3rd, everybody, I'm telling you.
And I've been promoting this on Chattanooga's for Justice on their website as well. I do, I promote it heavily every hour or so. So if you want to go to Chattanooga's for Justice Facebook page, like the page, I can add you as a member. You can request to join. I'll be glad to accept your invitation, and just follow, my Facebook page. But please, like I said, if you can't, I don't want to buy a wish list because I can't afford it, a $5 gift card to McDonald's. That's all.
Right. And you're not being asked to buy everything on the wish list. I mean, even parents with kids probably don't buy everything that's on the wish list.
Oh, my goodness. 3 girls? No. Cannot do that.
I've got one person I'm buying gifts for, and the thing she asked for, I'm like, come on, you can't. Kid, what are you doing? But
luckily, my kids this year only asked for one thing. So I'm like, I need a wish list or, a Christmas list of what you want. I don't want much. So, a lot of kids nowadays I'm finding don't want that much. As long as they're with family and friends at Christmas time, I'm seeing kids don't ask for much anymore.
As you get older too, your tastes get a lot more utilitarian. I found myself asking for a screwdriver for Christmas. I mean, just like anything, really.
A screwdriver can come in handy.
It can, especially around here where we never seem to have one. Pens, rubber bands, and paper clips. I'm happy with anything. But
So I guess you're saying you need us to donate some of that too.
please, if you will.
Please help Hot News Talk Radio out and donate screwdrivers, pens, and rubber bands.
I could use them, please. And cup of noodles, ramen noodles. I need that extensively.
I have tons of that at the house.
Oh, good. Donate some.
What flavor?
Anything, really. I'm desperate. Chattanooga for Justice has sort of an interesting origin story. I remember when that whole thing sort of kicked off. Tell us a little bit about Chattanooga for Justice.
Back when we had the terrorist attack, July 16, 2015, a Commander Timothy White was facing possible criminal and administrative charges for using his personal weapon on the property. And when I heard that on the news, I was like, he helped take down the terrorists that had shot up 5 of our servicemen. Why is he even in the media facing charges? And I did a lot of praying about it, and I thought, this isn't right, So I formed the organization to help Commander Timothy White of possibly not facing any charges. I've contacted the Navy several times, and I've done a couple marches downtown to try to clear him of all charges. And as I know of right now, there's still charges that are pending because I haven't been told otherwise that he has been cleared. So please keep Commander Timothy White and his family in your prayers. And as a result of the attacks, he's had a lot of health issues. He's been in the hospital a couple times with blood clots, and he's out. And there is a song that he has even written called When Terror Came to Chattanooga. It's put on by Operation Song. You can get on their website and purchase a CD. I think it's for $10, but that's a great song. And it's a lot of therapy for him, what he was facing and going through, and writing a song is how he is trying to heal himself. So please keep that family in your prayers. And as I know of right now, there hasn't been any further things going on in the investigation, and as I'm told as of right now, he's still not cleared. So keep the family in your prayers, and that's what Chattanooga for Justice is about.
Now, I remember when that first happened, too, and I heard that you were first forming Chattanooga for Justice, and I thought, man, what a you did that.
I did form it for him to help him, but I also help anybody locally that needs any help in anything, that you have. Contact us on my Facebook page. You can shoot me a message or, just say, I need some help, and I'll be glad to do whatever I can to help you in any situation, because that's what I'm about, is helping people and giving you the justice that you deserve. So.
Right. Justice doesn't just mean legal justice. It means getting fair treatment and getting equal treatment. And that's what Chattanooga for Justice appears to be all about.
Yep.
Really glad. And, Chrissy Essex, thank you for joining us. And again, remind us the date.
December 3rd is the toy drive from 2 to 4, Chick-fil-A inside the mall. And if you will have your toys delivered to Chick-fil-A inside the mall and put them inside the box, I do check the box every day. I will be delivering the toys, gift cards, whatever, on December 16th. To the Baptist Children's Home.
It's a lot of hard work. So December the 3rd, and make sure that you get there before then to get a tag and buy some presents for the kids. Good stuff for a good cause, handled by good people. Thank you again, Chrissy Essex.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, that was Chrissy Essex from Chattanooga for Justice here on AM 1240, Noogaradio.com. And we're sort of in the post-election season still. We're in that interim period between now and January. And between now and January, there's been a kind of an uproar, I guess you will call it, with some people who are kind of mad that a certain person got elected to a certain office in a certain country that we all happen to live in. And the thing with that is, and there's a lot of things about that. There's a lot of things surrounding that whole conundrum. But the thing about it is, now that we've gotten all the votes counted in, it looks like Donald Trump may have actually won the pop vote too, not just the Electoral College, which he won in I would call it a landslide. I think it was 320 to 290 something, if I remember correctly. A pretty big margin. And people are all upset about the Electoral College. People who don't know how politics work are all upset about the Electoral College, and it's just been a whole mess. It's been a whole conundrum, and it's been a whole opportunity for media shenanigans. And there's been a lot of media shenanigans, believe me. As part of the media, you start to see what other media people do of the election and how unfair perhaps they might be. For instance, a man named Bannon is running, or Bannon, I should say, is being looked at for a possible cabinet position in the Trump cabinet, and he's a former editor-in-chief of Breitbart News, which I'm a passive fan of. I read it occasionally. I'm not like heavily involved or a donator or anything like that, but Breitbart News has been a big entity in the conservative, what now they're calling alt-right movements, for quite a while, and it's been a hard fought crawl for Breitbart to go from just sort of a political blog to something that now has national recognition. And over the course of that long crawl, it had some, controversial headlines, we'll put it that way, that were less than politically correct. Now, if you know me, I don't care at all about political correctness. I care about correctness, but not political correctness. I care about factual correctness, but not so much about, pleasing everybody, as probably you can tell by now. But the thing is, and like I say, there are a lot of things, but the thing is, he's the editor-in-chief, yeah, but it's not like he writes all the headlines down, and there are a lot of blog pieces, and there's a lot of shock headlines, just like you'd see in the Daily Mail. Why don't we go after people who run, say, News Corp for some of the ridiculous headlines you see in Fox or in some of the tabloids in the UK? No one goes after the runner of News Corp, but we'll go after Bannon for having the headlines that are less than favorable about people who are now seen in society as being marginalized, or at least they're put up on a pedestal and we're told that they're marginalized. Because these days, in the year 2016, I don't think most people care about whether or not you're gay or you're straight or whatever. I don't think most people care about that anymore. And it's just being pushed like there's this constant oppression going on, which I've never witnessed personally. I don't know about you, but I've never witnessed personally. And, since we have a third party, have you ever personally witnessed any kind of massive prejudice against people who are different from us?
No.
See? I got you. There you go. So now I have a third party witness. And so I can confirm now that not just me, because I'm a youngin', but someone else who's also a youngin', but not quite as youngin' as I youngin' be, has confirmed that there's never been witnessed by any of us any form of oppression against any of these so-called marginalized people. So what's the deal anyway? Yeah, you can write some rough headlines, and yeah, you can have some weird editorials, but in the end, that's all it is. It's editorials and headlines, sticks and stones, right? So why do people care? Because there is a narrative which must be pushed. And this narrative is one that's been pushed probably since the Clinton years, which is, if you oppose us, you are immediately racist, sexist, misogynistic, and you probably are a smoker too, and you don't believe in climate change. There's all these certain, stigmas that get attached to anyone who's just a passive conservative or someone who's ever voted for Trump. They act like if you have done these things, you are now the worst human being alive. And this is a structure that's been set up by media and by other people too, of course, to make it look like the opposition is made up of, well, deplorable people, as one candidate put it. It's a basket of deplorables, right? But so, I mean, you have roughly half of the country which thinks differently from the other half of the country, and the other half of the country happens to be in the minority, so they're the squeakiest wheel, and of course they get all the dang grease. There's WD-40 being dumped on this on this particular wheel. It's ridiculous, and we all kind of know it. That's the thing. We're all kind of in tune with how ridiculous the media narrative is, but people in media don't really catch on that we've caught on. Look at TV news right now. As an example, Fox will say it's the most watched cable news station on the world. Well, that's all well and good, but that's like saying you're the most watched vaudeville act in North America. Congratulations. Nobody watches. That's like we have the most watched kinographs in the history of the world. Well, hooray. No one watches kinographs. Who cares, man? And they act like they're these hoity-toity, high and mighty journalists who do high-level journalism, when really it's not much more than political blogging that could be done on, blogspot.com. The only thing that separates someone like, say, Chris Matthews from Joe Blow on the internet is a paycheck, and that's about it. So I'm fully in favor of the CNN blackout, because I think that CNN and other media outlets, it's not just CNN, it's a lot of them, it's most of them, have really contributed to this negative stigma against regular people, good people, who've really done nothing wrong other than cast a ballot, if that's even wrong, which I don't think it is. I don't even care if you cast a ballot for Clinton. You shouldn't be criticized for casting a ballot. That's your right to do as a U.S. citizen, as an American. You can do that. Why would you criticize someone for doing something that they are legally allowed to do as citizens of the United States? It's like saying he drives a Volvo, I hate him.
I learned during the election, the media has opened my eyes, because before the election, I'd listen to the news, CNN, Fox, or whatever. And since the election, I don't turn the news on in my house anymore. It's like they're geared towards one party and the other. And I turn it off now. I can't watch the media any longer.
Media bias has gone way too far. Chrissy Essex, thank you for joining us
Thank
yet
you so
again.
much for having me.
This is Best Shot here on Hot News Talk Radio AM 1240 and hotnewstalkradio.com. Actually, Nooga Radio and NoogaRadio.com, Nooga Radio AM 1240. I'll get that right eventually, trust me.